Hi there. So you're thinking about moving to Fort Collins and just want to learn a little bit more about it, maybe the pros and cons of Fort Collins? Well, this is exactly what this video is for. Let's get started. All right, Christy Lee here, and if you are new to my channel, I do all videos about places that I love to live, visit, take my kid, eat, things like that. So if that's something that interests you, please click subscribe right there. That way you are notified every time I have a new video. All right, I am a local real estate agent in the state of Colorado. I am a native of Colorado as well. So if you do need my assistance, please feel free to reach out to me anytime. I work with people just like you all over the country who are planning on moving to Colorado. So today I am focusing on Fort Collins, Colorado. And Fort Collins is just gonna be north of Denver, about an hour north of Denver, and then just south of Cheyenne, Wyoming. So about 30 minutes just south of Cheyenne, Wyoming. I absolutely love Fort Collins, but just like any city out there, there are the cons of Fort Collins as well. So that's what we're gonna get into. So I'm gonna go over 5 cons and 5 pros. And we're gonna start with the cons list, but do make sure you stay to the very end to get that my very top pro of this city, because you're gonna absolutely love it. All right, so con number 5. So the 5th con is gonna be the traffic. So there's going to be a lot of traffic in Fort Collins and just kind of really wherever you're at. So let's start with I-25. So I-25 is going to be your main sector getting into Fort Collins from Denver, okay? Or even from Cheyenne if you're coming south. So I-25, it's really, really busy at all times of day. Doesn't matter what day it is of the week. You're really gonna have to deal with I-25 traffic. There's usually always some sort of construction going on out there. So you have to definitely make sure that you're aware of that if you're trying to get into Denver or up to Cheyenne. As well as once you're finally in Fort Collins, you're gonna have to deal with the traffic just within the city. There's a few major roads out there, Prospect, Harmony, and College. They're all gonna be really, really congested, especially during the day when people are working or even the college kids are out and about. So just kind of keep that if you're trying in mind, if you're trying to get across the city, that you're probably gonna run into some traffic. Okay, so the number 4 con on my list is just gonna be that it's far from Denver. I mean, it's an hour away. So it just depending on how often you plan on getting into Denver, if you're working in Denver, just note you're probably gonna be spending a lot of time in your car. And the reason I think that this is more of a con necessarily because if you're gonna be living in Fort Collins, most likely you're not gonna be working in Denver, but just getting into Denver for like sporting events, if you're an active, sports person, you like to go down to the games, all of those are obviously held down in Denver. And so just note that it is going to take you a while to get down there. There's not like a light rail system or anything like that that's going to get you down there. So, if you're planning on going down there, having some fun, drinking some beer, whatever it might be, just note you might probably need to get a room down there or have, get an Uber, which might cost you a little bit. If you're planning on coming back up to Fort Collins, I think that is just going to be a little bit of a downfall. It is about an hour away. And then also as well, taking that one step further, getting into DIA, so our airport, it is going to be a little bit farther to get to our airport as well, depending on which way you go, but you're still going to be looking right around 45 minutes to that hour mark as well. So just kind of note that for travel time and, things along those lines, it might be a little bit far for you. All right, number 3 on my cons list is just the population growth. So if you've been here for a really long time, I am a native, so I've seen, all of Colorado just explode, but Fort Collins for sure. So if you're somebody who likes a lot of people around, Fort Collins is not going to be a problem at all. They are just under 350,000 people up there. But it didn't used to be that way. So it's just progressively getting more and more people moving to the northern area of Colorado, especially Fort Collins. And that's going to piggyback onto the next con as well. Number 2 is because the home prices. So home prices are going to be a little bit higher than other northern Colorado places, but quite a bit less than Denver metro area. So the average home price in Fort Collins for a single family home is going to hover right around that 500,000 price point. Average home price in Denver is going to be 700,000. So obviously there is going to be an extreme difference between that. But Fort Collins is going to be more expensive than some of the other areas like Loveland or Greeley. So just kind of keep that in mind. Do I think it's a con? Not necessarily, just because it is cheaper than, the Denver metro area. However, yes, it is going to be more expensive than some of the other places, as well as the population is going to be, there's a lot more people in Fort Collins than Loveland or Greeley as well. All right, and finally my last con, so number 5, and I'm not even sure this is an actual con, but I just wanted to throw it out there because some people think it's a con, people think it's a pro, and simply that it's a college town. So you're gonna have a lot of college students, meaning college lifestyle. So if that's something that maybe you're not into, maybe you're a little bit older in life, you don't wanna deal with that kind of stuff, Fort Collins might not be the place to be. You're gonna have, the main strip, the main downtown, which has the bars and restaurants, which a lot of the college kids are gonna go to actively, throughout the week and definitely on the weekends, partying it up, staying out super late. You're gonna have, them riding their bikes and things like that. If that's something that's maybe of not interest to you, then Fort Collins is probably not going to be the place to go. However, on the flip side, if you are a college student or if that's the kind of environment you like, you thrive on, Fort Collins is an amazing city and it's one of my favorite cities in Colorado. And I think that it's definitely check it out, mainly because it is a college town. So you could kind of take it either way, right? So pro, con, I don't know, college town, I think it's great, but some people might not. Okay, now we're on my favorite part of the list, and it's the pros list. So like I said, Fort Collins is amazing. It's my husband's favorite city in Colorado. He did go to school up here. So it's a place that we definitely hold dearly. So number 5 on the pros list is going to be, it's a very, very active city. It's very vibrant. There's people always outside. The walkability is amazing. You could really, it's a college town, so you could walk really everywhere, a lot like Boulder. You could ride your bike, things are just really kind of close. There's a lot of, it's just energized. That's the best way I could explain it. It's just very energized. People are happy up here. They're just having a good time. And then I personally love seeing the college students. I love seeing them walk around and you see them, on their bikes. And it's just a fun city to be a part of. All right, so to piggyback off of that, my number 4 pro is going to be just the outdoor living that Fort Collins has to offer. So we are very close to the foothills. Fort Collins, the way that it sits is just right off of I-25. And so a majority of Fort Collins is going to be on the west side of I-25. There's a little bit on the east, but for the most part, it is going to be on the west side of 25, meaning that it's really, really close to the foothills. So if you're somebody who likes to hike, bike, boat, fish, anything like that, you have all that, at your fingertips within 10, 20 minutes driving time. You could get to any of these places because Fort Collins is just right there. So, if you're a person who likes to do that, actually as well, Fort Collins is extremely close to Estes Park. You could get up to Estes Park and those mountains over there, and then you could have it to Wyoming. You could view all the outdoor stuff up in Wyoming because that's really close too. So Fort Collins is just a great place if you're an outdoors person and you love to experience that Colorado living. All right, and number 3 pro is anywhere in Colorado. Let's not mistake this. Anywhere in Colorado, you're gonna have some amazing views. I mean, we live in the Rocky Mountains. There's gonna be amazing views really wherever you're at, but Fort Collins is pretty incredible. The views out here are amazing. So if you're looking for a place to live that has phenomenal views, or even if you're just driving around and you want to see these views, or be on the lake and see the foothills, Fort Collins is going to be the place to be. I highly think that if a view is really important to you, head to Fort Collins. You still have that little tiny city life, but you still get those amazing, spectacular mountain views that you might be looking for. All right, number 2 pro, and one of my personal favorites, and I've already spoken about it before, is the downtown area. Now, downtown Fort Collins is so cool. You could go have lunch with your friends, drink coffee in the morning time, ride your bike throughout. They have all these festivals there, which is so fun. They bring in music and vendors and things like that. And then the nightlife, obviously, for the college, but I mean, not even for college. I mean, anybody could do the nightlife. That's amazing too. There's little boutiques that you could go shopping. It's just such a really cool small town strip of a little area, that people love to go to. It gets all decorated in Christmas. There's always lights up. It's just a really great little small town, downtown area that I love going to. Right, last but not least, number 1 pro, and my most favorite and most passionate about, is the breweries. So if you watched any of my other videos, you know that I love my breweries, and I usually talk about at least one of them in any of my videos, and Fort Collins is the hub of breweries. They are the home of New Belgium, and they are the ones that created microbrews, and so they are the hub of that in Fort Collins. But then there's going to be a bunch of other ones out there. So you could actually do a biking tour of all the breweries out there. I mean, you could spend all day just going from brewery to brewery to brewery. So if that's something you want to do. So number 1, for sure, pro of Fort Collins is simply the microbrews, the breweries. They're so fun. You could take tours. There's a slide in New Belgium, which is super fun at the very end. So, that's just Fort Collins as a whole. Again, I am a local real estate agent. If you are thinking about moving to Colorado, to Fort Collins, or any other place within the, the Denver metro, please reach out to me. I answer these emails and these text messages from you all the time. I absolutely love helping you. Please remember to click that subscribe button right there. That way you do get notified every time I have a new video. And to the next video, take care.